Here's a strange question. What if the person you think you are isn't actually you? I don't mean your name, or your job, or your personality. I mean the thing looking through your eyes right now. The thing having the experience. Because for the last few episodes, we've been exploring reality. We started with a fly trapped inside a computer. Then we asked whether information might be more important than the thing carrying it. Then we wondered whether reality itself might have hidden layers underneath it. But after all that, I realized we'd ignored the strangest question of all. Not what is reality, but who exactly is experiencing it. Because right now you're looking out through a pair of eyes. You're hearing sounds, feeling things. Thoughts are arriving whether you ask for them or not. And it all feels so ordinary that almost nobody stops to question it. So let me question it. If I asked you who's looking through your eyes right now, you would answer in about a few seconds. Me. Okay, fine. But what is that exactly? Because the longer you stare at it, the weirder it gets. And I'll start with the obvious one. Your body. You look in the mirror. You see a face. You point and go. That's me. Except your body won't sit still. Cells die. Cells get replaced. The body you're walking around in today isn't the one you had 10 years ago. And yet, somehow, you still feel like the same person. The same you. Different hardware. So maybe you're not the body. Then maybe you're your thoughts. But your thoughts are strange. You don't pick most of them. They just turn up. A memory, a worry, some random things from years ago. There 1 second, gone the next. And if they come and go like weather, how can they be you? Then maybe your memories, except those vanish too. And people forget. People lose entire chapters of their life to illnesses. And still, even then, there seems to be someone home. Which leaves us with a problem. If you're not the body, and you're not the thoughts, and you're not the memories, then what exactly is left holding the whole thing together? And this is the point where, for some reason, I started thinking about Lara Croft. Stay with me for a second. Picture Lara at a crossroads. Left or right. She picks left, and a few seconds later, she drops into a trap and dies. The screen goes black. Game over. And then it reloads. And there she is again. Same crossroads, left or right. From Lara's side of things, nothing happened. She doesn't remember the trap. She doesn't remember dying. She doesn't remember choosing wrong. But the player remembers it all. The player already knows what's down the left path. So this time, right. And she lives. And here's the part I can't stop thinking about. From Lara's perspective, the choice feels different. She doesn't know why. She doesn't remember the trap. She doesn't remember dying. But the player remembers. And the player already knows where the danger is. Which makes me wonder, how many decisions do we make because of information we can't consciously access? How much of what we call intuition is actually knowledge without memory? I don't know, but it's a strange thought. Maybe the character forgets, but the player doesn't. Now, obviously, Lara isn't real. That's not the interesting bit. The interesting bit to me is that Lara and the player are not the same thing. Lara experiences the world. The player experiences Lara experiencing the world. Connected, sure, but not identical. And that opens up a question I can't quite shake. What if we've been assuming we're Lara this whole time? What if we mistook the character for the player? And look, before anyone runs off with this, I'm not telling you souls are real. I'm not selling you reincarnation. I'm not saying we are trapped in a video game. I'm doing the thing I've done all series. I'm just asking. Because if Lara somehow woke up, she'd probably spend her entire existence studying her world. The physics of it, the rules, the dangers. And would a single bit of that prove a player existed? Or would the player just stay completely, permanently invisible? Maybe the limit was never intelligence. Maybe it's perspective. Because a fish doesn't discover the ocean, not because it's stupid, because the ocean is the thing it's already inside. And sometimes I wonder if we're making the same mistake. Maybe the hardest things to see aren't actually hidden. Maybe they're the things we've been surrounded by our entire lives. The things that feel so normal, we never think to question them. Maybe a character simply can't reach something that lives one level above the reality it has access to. And here's where it starts to get underneath my skin. Imagine scientists built a perfect copy of you. Not a clone, not a lookalike. Perfect. Every memory, every fear, every dream, every cringy, embarrassing moment you've ever tried to bury. The copy opens its eyes and says, I'm me. And from where it's sitting, it's not lying. So now there are two of you. Both have the same memories. Both are certain they are the originals. Both feel it. Both are clearly having an experience. So where's the real one? Where's the actual you? And if you can't point to it, then what have you been calling you this entire time? Or easier, think about dreams. Last night you might have been somewhere else entirely. Different people, different rules, different places. And while it was happening, it felt completely real. You had no idea it was a dream. Then you woke up. Now imagine waking up again and finding out this. All of this was the dream. How would you even know? Seriously. What test would you run? What would actually convince you? Because every person in every possible reality probably assumes they are the one who's already awake. So maybe the strangest possibility isn't that reality is a simulation. Maybe it's that you've mistaken yourself for the character. You know, the way Lara mistakes herself for Lara. The way the fly mistakes itself for a fly. Because if there's a player, the character never meets them. You know, the character only ever gets the game. And that points somewhere very uncomfortable. Maybe the thing looking out through your eyes right now isn't the person you think you are. Maybe the person you think you are is just what the player happens to be playing. So what about us? The fly couldn't see the computer. Lara can't see the player. And maybe every creature that's ever existed just quietly assumes its own level of reality is the whole of it. But what if it isn't? So here's the next one. What if consciousness has layers too? What if there's something watching your thoughts the way you watch a film? You know, something watching your whole life the way a player watches a character? I don't know. And honestly, neither does anyone else. People have thrown themselves to this for thousands of years. You know, you have philosophers, scientists, mystics, whole religions. And after every answer we've ever invented, the mystery is still just sitting there. Because maybe the deepest question was never about reality, or information, or hidden layers, or even consciousness. Maybe the deepest mystery is just that something is here at all, right now, having an experience. Maybe that's us, searching out there, looking for the hidden layers, looking for deeper realities, looking for answers, while the biggest mystery has been sitting here the whole time, watching, listening, questioning, wondering. The fly, information, reality, hidden layers, players, consciousness, fine. But, after all that, what exactly is the thing looking through your eyes right now? Because if Lara ever woke up, she might spend a whole life trying to decode her world. Every rule, every danger, every mystery. And none of it will tell her who was holding the controller. She would spend her entire existence staring outward, while the mystery sat one level above her the whole time. So maybe we're doing the same thing. Maybe we're searching for answers out there, when the biggest question has been here all along. And if one day you discover the answer, would you even recognize it?